What's up, Tech King? Stefan here from TechRight. Today we're going to be comparing the Revvl 4, the Revvl 4 Plus, and the Revvl 5G. Stay tuned. Alright everyone, I hope you're having a great day. Hope everyone is safe out there. In this video, we're going to be comparing the specifications as well as running some tests on these devices to basically show you what these devices can do and seeing which device is good for you. Now going straight into this video, starting off with the prices of these devices. Starting off on the left, it's going to be $120 for the Revvl 4. The middle, it's going to be $190, and on the right side we have the Revvl 5G, and that's going to be $399 with no port-in deals or any sort of ad line specials. Now they do have a ton of port-in deals, but I would recommend going to the Metro website to go ahead and check those out, because I don't know when you guys are watching these videos. So definitely go ahead and check out those deals. They have some really good deals on the 5G. Go ahead and check them out though. Now that we got the prices done, we're going on to the displays. Now starting off with the Revvl 4 all the way to the left, that's going to be a 6.2 inch screen. That's going to be a 720p screen, so it's going to be HD. It's also going to have a 270 ppi, and we're going to have about an 80% screen to body ratio. We also have an ambient light sensor and proximity light sensor. The proximity light sensor is actually going to be at the bottom of the screen, so you guys are going to have that notification light still. Now going to the right of that, in the middle, we have the Revvl 4 Plus. It's going to be 6.5 inches, 720p screen, and a little bit of a lower PPI at 247, being because it is 0.3 inches bigger than the 4, so smaller phones tend to have better pixel densities. And our screen to body ratio on this device is actually going to be 88.24%, so our screen to body ratio on this device is excellent. That's also going to host an ambient light sensor as well as a proximity light sensor, and we are going to be receiving a notification sensor on the right side of the device on its power button. So that's a different position than you would usually have your notification light on, but I think it's really cool that they did that. Now to the right of that, we have that same notification light on the 5G version of this device, but going to the screen, we have a 6.5 inch screen, and we're going to have a 1080p screen, so this is the only device that supports full HD on its screen. And we also have a 395 ppi, killing all of the other pixel densities on the Revvl 4 and the 4 Plus. We also have an 83% screen to body ratio. That's going to be a little worse than the 4 Plus, but not as bad as the 4. But I'm really liking this device so far. I like that they have the hole punch in there. As you guys see on the 4 and the 4 Plus, we only have that little droplet notch, but I'm really liking that 5G hole punch, and they both look good as well. We have an ambient light sensor and proximity light sensor on the 5G as well. Now getting into the hardware of these devices, starting off all the way to the left, we have a MediaTek Helio A22 in the Revvl 4. And as for our processor, we have an ARM Cortex A53. For our RAM, we have 2 GB of RAM, and we also have 32 GB of internal storage with the option to go ahead and expand your memory via micro SD card. We also have Android 10 in this device, as well as the rest of the devices in this lineup. Now onto the Revvl 4 Plus. We have a Snapdragon 665. I really do like this chip. I think it definitely complements this phone. As for the chipset, we have a Cairo 260. And we have the Adreno 610 for the GPU. We have 2 more gigabytes of RAM than we had in the Revvl 4 at 4 gigabytes of RAM. We have double the storage as well, so 32 to 64 gigabytes in this phone. And we have that option to expand the memory via micro SD card. Now going on to the right side, we have a Revvl 5G, and that's going to host a Qualcomm Snapdragon 765. I really didn't expect this from TCL or T-Mobile, whoever built these phones. I really didn't expect that chip, so that's really nice to see. And moving on to the processor, we have a Cairo 475 in this device, and an Adreno 620 for the GPU. And we're going to triple the RAM from the Revvl 4 to the 5G, and we're going to have a whole 6 gigabytes of RAM in this device, so you guys are going to be very pleased with this. I feel like I very much love the experience so far that I'm receiving on this device. Gaming has been a breeze. Watching movies and all of the regular stuff that I do on a phone has been great, and it's been functioning great. And going down to the internal storage, this is probably one of the best parts about this phone. We have 128 gigabytes of internal storage, so it doubles from the 4 Plus of 64 gigabytes to 128. So you guys are going to have no issue storing your photos and videos and applications on this device. And we also have the option to expand via micro SD card. Now going to the battery of these devices, I feel like I'm just going to go ahead and start off with the Revvl 5G. I have had an amazing time with this device as far as the battery goes. It is an all day and then some battery. So we have a 4500 milliamp battery, charges up pretty quick as well. The Revvl 4 Plus, it charges up pretty good as well. We have 500 less than the Revvl 5G at 4000 milliamps. And going to the Revvl 4, we have a small 3500 milliamp battery, but we do have that smaller screen on the Revvl 4, so we are going to have a better battery life for that. Now going to the cameras on these devices, you guys are going to see a video very, very soon, me comparing photos of all these devices. And I have to say the Revvl 5G is definitely doing the job with the 48 megapixel rear facing camera. That is the main camera that we actually have in this device. And I think it's really decent. I think it really shows you that you can get a lot on a phone for a very, very cheap price. And that's going to be our PDAF camera. And this is actually going to be a triple setup. So we're going to have 3 cameras on this device. On the rear, we're going to have a 48 megapixel PDAF. The second one's going to be an 8 megapixel ultra wide camera, and the third one is going to be a 5 megapixel macro. And going to the front of the camera, we're going to have a 16 megapixel selfie camera. Now going to the middle, we have the Revvl 4 Plus. That's going to be a dual lens setup. So we're going to have a 16 megapixel autofocus and a 5 megapixel shooter as well. And going to the front of the camera, we're going to have a 16 megapixel front facing camera. Now going all the way to the left, we're going to have a 13 megapixel single camera on the rear and a 5 megapixel on the front. I believe the Revvl 5G can actually go up to 4K. Let's go ahead and check that out really quick. Let's go in the settings. So the video quality, yes, you can shoot up to 4K at 30 frames per second. So that's really cool to see. On the Revvl 4 and 4 Plus, you can only shoot up to 1080p full HD. It's still not a problem since I really don't use 4K, and a lot of people really don't tend to upload in 4K, so I don't think it's going to be an issue for the average consumer. Now, as far as all of the builds go, I feel like the 5G definitely killed it with the build. I really do like how it feels. All of these are plastic builds, so definitely just know that straight out of the gates. The Revvl 5G, though, however, feels very, very premium without having premium materials. It definitely has some weight to it. I feel like they used some sort of polycarbonate material for the backs and they frosted it on this one. The Revvl 4 Plus actually doesn't feel that bad as well. The Revvl 4, you really get what you paid for when you feel this device. Honestly, it just feels like a normal device you would have from Metro by T-Mobile. So I really don't think that there's anything special there in that division. Also, the colors that we're going to have on these devices, we're going to have Nebula Black on the Revvl 5G, and that is going to have a little tiny ray of magenta, obviously from T-Mobile. Sticking with that T-Mobile theme, going to the middle, the back of this device is actually going to just be steel gray. I really like it, honestly. Definitely reminds me of the Pixel 4a. A lot of people were talking about that. I feel like a lot of the devices that are in the Android community definitely get some sort of inspiration or quota to go ahead and shoot for when they release a phone or design one. And in the Revvl 4, we have a graphite, think of a pencil. That's exactly what it looks like, a pencil tip. Graphite color on that device. And going into the notification lights, obviously we're going to have a notification light on the right side of our 4 Plus and our 5G. The notification light, however, on the Revvl 4 is going to be at the bottom of the screen. Obviously 4 and 4 Plus, they only support 4G LTE. Going into the right side, we have the Revvl 5G that is going to support 5G. Now, do understand that it is going to take time for 5G to come into full effect. They are still building towers. They still are getting things ready before they fully release this into the world. And I feel like the 5G one really is worth it just because of the specifications it has in it and the features it has on it. Not really more so for, you know, the 5G aspect, because the 5G really isn't going to work everywhere, and most of the time you're just going to have 4G on. So I feel, looking at these devices, I feel like, yes, obviously the 5G one won. I feel like the specs are right on that device. 4 Plus, I feel like definitely comes straight after it, and obviously the Revvl 4. Now, this was very easy comparison to do, but we're just going to go ahead and now run Geekbench tests on these devices just to see how much more powerful the 5G is to the 4 Plus and the Revvl 4. All right, everyone, so we ran tests on all of these devices, the Revvl 5G on the right, obviously, the 4 Plus in the middle, and the 4 on the left. This is pretty much what I expected from these devices. Starting off on the right with the Revvl 5G, we got a score of 606 for a single core score, and our multi-core score, we got a score of 1893. Definitely a much bigger number with the multi-core score than the other devices. Going on to the 4 Plus, we have a single core score of 311 and a multi-core score of 1385. And on the left with the Revvl 4, we have a single core score of 143 and a multi-core score of 511. So obviously the Revvl 5G did do the best, 4 Plus second best, and the Revvl 4 third. But I really like the results that we're seeing on the Revvl 5G. We're gonna go ahead and compare the single core score really quick to just give you guys some insight. So the Revvl 5G is actually going to land in between the OnePlus 6 and the Xiaomi Redmi K20 Pro, which is honestly surprising. I really didn't think it was doing that good. And obviously going to the multi-core score, we've got a score of 1893. We're going to go and scroll up, and that's going to be in between the Pocophone F1 and the OnePlus 6. So it's definitely holding its own in this phone world, especially the unlocked phone world, and I think this is going to be a very good bargain for whoever gets, a port-in deal on this device. So the question is, which device would I choose if I was picking up a device? Going into the specifications, the features, the use cases, and most importantly, the price of the device. Starting off with the Revvl 5G, that's the first device I would get. There are some very, very good port-in deals on this device. I believe you can get it for about $200 and $100, I believe, in some cases. Going in the middle with the Revvl 4 Plus, that is the second device I would pick up. And the third option really is just if you need a phone, you don't really care how it runs, you just need it to do basic things, I would definitely go with the 4. 5G if you guys want more of a luxury phone, and 4 Plus if you guys just need something in between that. I feel like the 5G is the best bargain out of all of them. I definitely feel like it's the most desired phone, but definitely leave your opinions in the comment section down below. I really do enjoy all of these phones equally for their use cases, but 5G just definitely seems to get the job done for me more than any of these other phones. So if you guys have the money for the 5G, I would definitely get it if you guys are trying to get something that's going to hold you over. Because with the 4 Plus and 4, you're definitely just going to need to upgrade a year later. But yeah, if you guys have any questions, leave them in the comment section down below. I'll do my best to go ahead and answer those. But if you guys did enjoy this video, please leave a like down below, as well as subscribing if you're not a part of the Tech Gang already. Also, hit the notification bell if you guys want to be notified every time I do upload a new video. This has been Safon from TechRight. Peace out, Tech Gang.